Hello and welcome to Mind the Flat. I'm Chris Heffernan.
I'm Tom Crowther.
And I'm Amy Isles.
And this week on Mind the Flat, it will be raining cats and dogs as we discuss what is the best pet to have. Cats, dogs, or should you put those umbrellas up and just have no pets at all?
It's actually really nice weather where I am at the minute.
It's quite nice here. Whereabouts are you?
I'm in the sunny county of Warwickshire. I'm back at home for the Easter holidays. So
We're doing a remote podcast this time, so Chris and I are back in our normal recording area, and Amy is at home.
yeah, it's a bit bizarre. I just feel like I'm talking to myself in my bedroom.
You
Well,
are,
I
really.
don't, but yeah, I kind of am.
Do we even exist?
Well, that is the question. Do any of us exist for another
What is
week?
existence? What does it even mean?
What's the point of it all? This is
Right
meant to be a light-hearted episode, guys.
So, let's open up with some lovely pet-related stories. So, who'd like to kick us off? Do you want to go first, Amy?
Yeah, I can do. So my pet-related story is, I'm not sure if I've told you guys this actually, but when I was younger, I'm an only child, so I was desperate for a pet when I was younger.
Not a brother or
because-
sister, a pet.
not a brother or...
Didn't
well,
care
no.
about sibling.
There's not much difference, really.
Oh.
Well, moving swiftly on. I always wanted, because I knew I wasn't going to have a brother or sister, so next best thing would have been a pet. But I was never allowed one because we quite liked going on holidays when I was younger, and it was just the hassle. My parents aren't big animal people, so I never got a pet. Apart from on one occasion, on one Christmas, or maybe it was a birthday, but on one occasion someone got me a present, and it was sea monkeys. Do either of you remember them?
Sorry, what?
Sea monkeys.
Sea
What
monkeys.
on earth are sea monkeys?
Well, I shall tell you, Christopher Heffernan.
Please do,
It was
Amy Isles.
basically a method of growing your own pet, and you put this like powder-like substance in this container, and you grew these things called sea monkeys, and they were like little microorganisms that you could see. They looked like tiny little horse. Oh my gosh, what are they called?
Seahorses?
Seahorses! I totally forgot. Yeah, like tiny microscopic versions of them, and you kind of grew them yourselves. So I got these sea monkeys, and one day a friend came round to my house, and she was looking at them, and she was like, "Oh, they're so cool!" And she picked up the jar that they were in and dropped it, and that was the end of my sea monkeys. They hadn't even fully grown yet. They weren't even fully fledged sea monkeys. But that was the one and only pet I ever had, and my friend destroyed them.
And multiple pets, not just the one. There must have been
Oh
loads
yeah,
of-
you got more than one sea monkey in a packet. They grew quite a few.
God, that's
I have
tragic.
no idea what they were. It was heartbreaking. I handled it quite well at the time because as a child, I wasn't always that great about things like that. But I think at the time I did handle it pretty well. I was like, it's fine, it's okay, I'll get over it.
Hadn't formed
I
an
think
emotional
maybe
bond
because
yet.
hadn't named them.
How do you know which one was
That
which?
was Steve. That was Gary. I don't think you do, Chris. They're literally just like little blobs floating in some water. But you had to
my
feed
word.
them and stuff. No, I tell a lie. I did have another pet. I had 4 goldfish called John, Paul, George and Ringo.
Right, moving on.
At first, I thought it was just called Jean Paul. I was like, who on earth calls
Jean
a
Paul
fish
the goldfish.
a goldfish? Jean Paul.
Most middle class
Jean
pet
Paul the
ever.
goldfish.
Go on then, Tom. What's your pet-related story?
So my pet related story is, so we used to have a Dalmatian called Molly, and she was great. And we met some family friends through Molly because we used to walk her at the park, and there was another Dalmatian at the park, and we got friends with those people and became family friends and whatnot. And their Dalmatian used to be able to do the coolest thing in the world. I've never seen a dog that can do anything like this. But he ran really fast. And if you told him to roll over whilst he was sprinting, he would do a barrel roll in the air and then land back on his feet. Like
A
a
barrel
full-on barrel
Brilliant.
roll in the air. It was incredible.
That's so cool.
And I don't even think it was ever like trained. I think he just he knew how to roll over when he was stood still, and so when he was told to do it whilst he was running, he just went, "All right, I guess I'll do it then," and just kind of flipped himself. Mad.
That is a cool trick.
That is impressive.
Find me a dog that can do a trick better than that. I bet you.
Oh.
Get in contact, listeners. If you have a dog that is more talented than
Send
Tom's
us your
friends
videos.
Dalmatian.
What's yours, Chris?
Oh, well, I've never had a pet.
Well, this is sad.
I know. It's not really.
Well, it's really
'Cause-
sad. It's heartbreaking.
I've never wanted one. And
Chris is a
That's not so
psychopath.
heartbreaking.
so, but my grandparents did have donkeys. And donkeys are my favourite animal. So if I were to ever have a pet, it would have to be a donkey.
You're a bit of a donkey.
And one Easter, I think it was, I went out into the donkey field with my cousin, and she got onto one of the donkeys. They just wouldn't move. And donkeys are very, very clever animals. So if you are riding them and they don't want you to, they will either walk under a really low branch, so you get knocked off, or they will go and sit in a bed of stinging nettles because it doesn't hurt them, but they know it will hurt you. But anyway,
Are you talking from experience there, Chris?
no, that has never happened to me, thankfully. But we were sort of going, "Oh, come on, Christabel, get moving, come on." And then suddenly, she decided to go into a full-on gallop, and I just watched Nell from behind sort of bob up and down, and slowly go over to the right, and boom, onto the floor. And then Christabel just stopped. So yeah, she did a bit of running for us, but the outcome for
I
Nell
thought at first you
wasn't
said the
particularly
donkey was called Christopher.
No, I'm not named after the donkey. The
gonna say.
the donkey's called Christabel. So almost.
Christabel.
Yeah.
Oh.
Such a donkey name, isn't it? You couldn't call anything else Christabel unless it's from like some
I feel-
horror
yeah.
story or something.
I
Although
feel
I'm-
like donkey names do end in bell quite a lot. Like Clara. No, that's a cow's name, isn't it? Clarabelle.
I am now going to have to run another story onto this though, because I just thought it was actually even
Oh,
more entertaining
double
than that
whammy.
one. And that
Is it another donkey story?
It is another donkey story.
Oh, here we go. Chris with the donkey
And
stories.
so when my grandparents first moved into the house they're in, they bought 2 donkeys from, I think they were getting get rid of or something, from the farm opposite. And then one day, Grandad woke up, looked out of his bedroom window, and he went to my nan, Katie, there appear to be too many legs in the field. And she went, "Oh, David, don't be an idiot. Come on, you're just probably sleepy." And anyway, they went and looked, and suddenly they had an extra donkey. Without realising it, they had bought a pregnant donkey, which had then given birth. So Christabel was actually born at my grandparents, and then spent the next, I think, almost... She was over 30, I think, when she
What?
died. Donkeys live for a long
That's
time.
amazing.
Her mum, Misty, was around 50 when she died, I believe. So donkeys
Wow.
live. They're a proper pet to
That's
have.
incredible.
I know.
I didn't know that. I mean,
Yes,
they
they
are stupidly high maintenance, though. Like you
Are
need.
they?
Well, you can't have them in a flat in the city centre.
No,
can
but
you?
I'd say they're actually not actually
No,
that
they're low
high maintenance. If you
maintenance
have
if
a field, you just leave them
yes.
in the field.
You just need to get to the point where you can have a field.
You just
Yeah.
need a field.
But then they are low maintenance
once you
once you have a field.
have worked enough to get a field. Yeah.
Boom, boom, boom. Mind the flat. Boom, boom, boom.
Okay then, so let's go on to our main discussion of cats versus dogs versus a nice clean house. So we're going to kick off with, let's go for dogs.
Okay.
So Tom, over to you with the wonderful world of dogs.
I think this is an age-old discussion. What's better, and I feel like it gets very tense a lot of the time. So I'm going to try and keep it nice and light-hearted, because we all know that dogs are actually the best, and there isn't really much of a discussion. I'm
You're
definitely
not hearing any arguments from me, to be fair.
great.
I'm
So
a self-confessed dog lover, but someone's got to take cats, so...
brilliant. So I think first of all, was pointed to a brilliant survey by our other flatmate, and it says that 36% of dog owners reported being very happy, compared to just 18% of cat owners. So you're going to be doubly as happy having a dog in your home as you would be having
maybe
a cat.
cat owners are just more miserable people.
I think there probably is a high degree of selection bias here, because it said that like dog owners. So the survey wasn't just about cats and dogs. It's a survey based on loads of things in America, and one of the questions is what pets do you have? And so they ran this and found that is the case. But also dog owners are more likely to be married and own their own homes and that sort of thing. So it's more likely.
Interesting.
I missed that a little bit there. I sort of had a little daydream, and I heard dogs are more likely to get married, own their own home. And the thing is, I know that dog weddings exist, so I was happy to go with the idea of dogs marrying. But then you said they could own their own home, and I was thinking, no, Tom.
Legal rights for dogs. It's brilliant.
Welcome to my kennel. Make yourself at home.
Mr. and Mrs. Woof.
So, yeah, people who own dogs are more likely to own their own home and be married. So the likelihood is that a dog fits into your kind of typical homeowner family sort of situation, and those people tend to be more happy. Not that the fact that the dogs make them more happy, but still, the fact that dogs go hand in hand with that kind of happy lifestyle, or what's perceived to be a happy lifestyle, is definitely a positive, I think, in dogs' favours. Chris is giving me the eyes and I don't like it. Also, dogs that you don't get with no pets, and you definitely don't get with cats, is the kind of fitness and that sort of thing. People who own dogs walk on average 870 miles a year. So that's been proven to help both your physical fitness and your mental health, because it reduces stress, gets you out of the house, that sort of thing. So dogs are brilliant for that. What do cats do in that respect? Nothing.
Well, it's a big commitment though, isn't it? Like you are forced to walk at least 2 times a day, and if you've got a busy life, if you've got a highly demanding job, you might have to pay someone else to do that for you. I don't think it necessarily forces you actually to do it, because you can get professional dog walkers to do it.
But then what have you got the dog for? You've not really got a dog as a pet in that situation.
Well,
You've just got
that is the
a
question,
dog living
Tom.
in your home. I think there's a difference between having a dog as a pet and having a dog cohabit with you, you know?
But people do it though, don't they?
Lots of people
They
do,
hire
yeah.
professional dog walkers.
Those people just shouldn't have pets.
But lots of people like the idea of a dog at the weekends, and like the idea
When
of
it's
having a
convenient.
dog. But the rest of the time it's a bit like, oh, what do we do with the dog?
Well, yeah, but then at the
And
weekends
it can
they
lead
can
you to
go
be-
walk the dog, and then
Yeah, but a cat is always there when you want it, and when you don't
Yeah.
want it, off it goes. It minds its own
It
business.
can look after itself.
Yeah, but it can look after. It's also boring. It's also really
No,
boring.
because they cats do like to play.
I don't think how you can say a cat that brings live animals and there's just deposits like a live mouse in your house that causes drama. Okay.
Why do
There is
and
a
also if cats are
mouse
boring,
running
why?
around the place.
And also, if cats are boring, why do so many people watch funny cat videos on the internet?
Oh,
You don't see
there you
as
go.
many searches for funny dog videos. It's always funny cat videos that are brought up in like memes and stuff like that.
I don't know about that.
So you're saying that cats are more fun than dogs, Amy?
Well, see, I'm finding this really difficult because I like, as I've said, I love dogs. Like, I am a dog person, but you know what? Someone's got to defend the cats. And I think cats can be very, very entertaining, but they're less demanding than dogs of your time. I think in terms of having a pet, you're less likely to be negligent of a cat because it does take after itself to some it does look after itself to some degree.
But they are devil spawn. That's the problem. So the
They're
cats are
not
evil,
all. You
inherently
could,
evil.
but it depends on the animal. I think
Sorry,
it depends
I love the
on the
way Amy's just
animal.
got, it depends on the animal. Ask Tom, Amy, where his evidence is that cats are inherently devilish.
I've got
Wasps
evidence.
are
I've
the
got
spawn of
personal.
Satan.
I've got personal evidence.
Go on then.
I'm allergic to cats. I'm not allergic to dogs. Case closed.
I've almost been killed by a dog.
Yeah, I've had friends that have been bitten by like if a cat bites you, it hurts for a bit, but it's probably going to heal. If a massive Rottweiler comes and bites you, you might be in a bit of trouble.
Think of how many people have been saved by dogs, though. Like, dogs have jobs. Like, you get dogs that have got jobs. You've got guide dogs. Like, imagine how would society work if we didn't have guide dogs? Like, blind people
I
just...
had guide cats who just fell asleep when you got to the road. So we stood there for half an hour because the cats found a hot patch by the edge of the road.
Exactly. We've got police,
Just like a nice warm patch of tarmac.
police dogs, army dogs, sniffer dogs, sled dogs, sheep dogs. So many
But
different
also-
types of dogs that do different
dogs.
useful hot dogs.
But cats can be, yes, they're less professional than dogs, but they can
the
be.
dogs turn up in a suit and tie. I think you need to go home and get
Bow
changed.
tie.
Actually,
But cats are quite lawless, because think of cat robbers.
Cats are great hunters, more so than dogs, because dogs have been more domesticated. But like one of my friends, like I live in a tiny little village, and my friend lives a bit out of the village, and she used to get problems with mice in her garage, so she's always had to have a cat to catch the mice.
Yeah,
And a lot
very
of people
important.
have cats for that reason, because of mouse problems.
Yeah.
And they
Spiders
like,
as well.
They can be very useful in the home. And also, I think a
Guide dogs
great
or
advantage.
mice? It's a tough one, that, actually. Thinking about army dogs that can sniff bombs, or mice.
I bet you could train a cat to do that as well. I bet you could.
Yeah, and if they did, they probably would have done it, and they haven't done it, and therefore I would say dogs are probably better at it.
Yeah, but should we be using animals for these purposes? That is the question. Going back to our veganism episode,
The thing here, though,
should we be exploiting animals?
I think we're sort of moving on past we are talking here about sort of pets, and so the idea of a dog as a sniffer dog is dog as an animal in general, and it's the professions it has. So if we bring it back to
The professions.
if we bring it back to the
Talk
idea
about
of
dogs in
for
the
dogs.
professional capacity.
having a dog as a pet compared to having a cat as a pet, and so sort of as a day-to-day pet, unless you are blind, and so therefore your dog in its professional capacity is more than just a pet, but just the general dog as a pet, actually its uses are negligible in comparison to a cat.
Oh, you can give a
I
dog a
agree.
proper cuddle. Like, because they're big, like
You
bigger
can give
dogs.
cats a proper
Yeah, but
cuddle.
if you squeeze them too hard, they'll just
Have-
pop, you know? Whereas
have
if
you
squeeze
seen-
a dog, it's like cuddling a person.
If you're talking about size of cats, have you seen John Cleese's cats? He has.
Oh,
I
yeah,
can't
actually,
remember
no,
what
definitely
breed
I've
they're
seen
called.
John Cleese's cats. Why have you seen John Cleese's cats?
I was watching a
I'm going to
documentary
get a
on Monty
picture up of
Python.
John Cleese's cats.
Honestly, listeners, Google it. They are huge. I can't remember what breed they are, but they are mammoth cats. I don't know what breed that. But I was watching a documentary on Monty Python, and they went like into his home, and his wife was holding this cat, and I was like, that is a monster.
That's not a cat. That's a tiger.
Which, by definition, is a cat.
Oh,
It's a
yeah,
cat.
but big cats. But it's not a pet, is it? You can't have a tiger as a
Yeah,
pet.
but you can get
Tiger
big
that came to
cats, and
tea.
they're cool. Like, what's the comparison to dog? Wolves.
Yes, wolves.
See, they're not cool.
Sorry, are you
Tigers and lions.
Sorry, did you just make the claim that wolves aren't cool?
Not as cool as tigers and lions. You get more variety with cats as well,
Do you?
in terms of big cats.
Again,
this is-
again.
Going to the domestic.
Pets.
I think you just handed me a very good point there, in that you definitely get more variety of domesticated dogs. You've got little dogs, medium dogs, big dogs, huge dogs. You've got
In terms of size,
size and looks and
cats. You
personality.
can get different breeds of cats.
Dogs have more personality, though, don't they?
No, I disagree. I think cats do have a variety of personalities. Some are spawn of Satan, but some dogs are as well.
Yeah, boring or evil. They're the two cat.
Yeah, some dogs can be.
personalities.
Some dogs can be quite ferocious.
Yeah, but is that
Some
usually,
dogs can be really evil.
But that stems out of bad ownership. Like the owners aren't giving them enough attention. They're not giving them enough walks. They're not giving them they're not putting them in a stress-free environment. And so a lot of it is down to environment. And if you're not right to have a dog, I'm not saying that everyone should have a dog, because that would be wrong, especially like people that aren't around. But if your house is the right sort of house for a dog, then that is the best situation you could be in. Because you get the dog, and you get the good dog, and you get the dog that cares, and the loyal dog.
But I think the same can be said for cats. I think some cats act ferociously because of the way they've been treated by their owners, and because they haven't been treated with affection. And I think because cats are more independent, you're less likely to treat them with affection, which is why they get mislabeled as evil.
Naomi's cat is very affectionate. Always wants
I
to
think
cuddle.
some cats are.
When it's
some
there.
some cats lap up attention just as much as dogs. And you get dogs who don't like attention, who are very shy. Not all dogs. I was at work yesterday, and one of the contractors came in with her dog, and he didn't want to go near me because I think it was a she actually. She didn't want to go near me at all because she was just a shy dog. She just didn't like strangers.
Yeah, I think that's picking up on your little slip there though. When you said he, I remember our dog Molly was obviously was a woman dog, female. That's the right one. But it's the amount of times that people would come up and go, "Oh, how old is he?" It's like just making the straight off assumption that the dog is a boy. It was so
This comes
very
down
telling.
to my theory.
Oh, go on then. What's your theory, Chris?
Well, I believe dogs are gendered masculine and cats are gendered feminine throughout
Absolutely,
society.
I think they are. Well, it's always said like dog is a man's best friend, isn't it?
Yeah, I think they do offer me mankind by that, but I think that if you were to watch most shows, probably a man will show more affection for a dog than a cat, whereas obviously like the cat is a witch's companion, which are obviously women.
Yeah.
It's a society.
And also, like,
Yeah.
you also always hear the phrase, like, crazy old cat lady. It's
Yeah.
never crazy old cat man.
No.
It's always a woman.
Exactly. So we find these gender constructions, sanctions and taboos everywhere we look.
Oh. What is the world that we live in?
But then, so obviously you've had your little fight out over which is better, cats or dogs.
I think,
But-
Amy, we need now to unite together against Chris's crusade.
We do. I'm ready.
But I think you're just missing the point that pets are just a hell of a lot of bother, and are they really worth it?
Yes.
So,
You could make the same argument for children.
yep. As I was researching
You could.
this, most things I wrote I thought applicable to children too. So I'm just going to put that disclaimer out from the beginning that as I'm going through these points, you can think, oh yes, children. So the lifetime cost of a dog is £16,900.
Well, that's a lot cheaper than a child. I think the lifetime cost of a child is $250,000.
But I think we can just play off dogs off children. Whether this isn't a contest between should you have a child, should you have a dog. It's a contest over
Do you have a pet or do you have a child?
or no pet. So if you were to have no pet, okay, then you are saving yourself £16,000 a month. That is a lot of holidays that you could be going on and enjoying rather than 8-9 years of picking up dog poo. A cat costs £17,200 for its
Cats
lifetime.
cost more.
Yeah.
Hang on,
Cats
I've got
cost
written down that
more.
cats are cheaper.
Oh,
I've got
fine.
stats clash. I've got that dogs in their first year alone cost £4,791, whereas cats cost £2,455.
This is the lifetime cost of them. So I don't know whether maybe the sort of the
cats-
amount
cats-
of food they live, or if the cats live longer,
yeah,
that affects
cats
it.
live longer.
So that's probably
Yeah,
where
that's
that
true.
difference has come. But then annually that is around sort of on average £1,100 for a dog. That is the cost. That is the cost of a holiday. So
Yeah.
your cost of your yearly holiday is going on a dog. And I mean, think of all the things you could do with that lovely holiday, all those memories, the time together as a couple, as a family.
But then, how much does smoking cost a year, or drinking?
Exactly, you shouldn't do those things
Because
either.
it's all about choice. But it's all about choices, isn't it?
It is.
And it's all about whether you're in a position to be able to look after and care for a pet. And if you have got that financial ability,
Oh,
then why
completely.
not?
Yeah, but I'm saying, just don't. I'm saying that they cost a
Don't
lot. and
bother.
So why not? Well, they're high maintenance. I mean, it's all very well you're going for a lovely walk, but your lovely walk is spoilt by the fact you have to pick up their poo. Okay,
Oh, it only takes 2 seconds though, doesn't it?
Amy,
It's not
you've
spoiled
then
at
got a
all. I'm
bag
sorry, if you ever walk
of
to...
smelly poo to carry with you. Okay, until you come to the next bin.
That's
Oh,
really not a burden.
you've got to pick
It's
it up. Oh, I just can't think.
That's a lovely sheltered life.
Oh,
Just
having to-
if that's the worst thing you have
But
to
then,
do.
do you know what's worse? Do you know what's even worse? Okay, it is those dog owners who don't pick the poo up. Okay, so
Oh
this
yeah,
is
they should all be thrown
like-
in prison.
It is
Yeah.
so annoying. Okay, when you have
Yeah.
people,
Chris is taking out the big voice.
I see them and their dog has pooed and they just walk up. Oh, it's the countryside. It doesn't matter. Yes, it matters. Okay,
It's
Because-
even worse. Carry on, sorry.
Because dogs are not eating, like, it's not like a cow poo where it's just grass, okay? I don't mind that. It stinks. It's dangerous. It is horrible. Pick up your poo if you're a dog owner.
It's even worse when you get it in your front garden. So I live next to a field
cats do
where
that all the time in my house.
this, that's cat. We used to get it with cats as well. To be fair, in our bush. So we live next to a field that's very commonly used by dog walkers. We've got a very small front garden, but the amount of times that we've had dog owners just let their dogs poo in our front garden. And literally, I've been sat in our living room and watched people let their dogs do it. I've actually run after one once and said, "Excuse me, your dog has just pooed." I may have sworn at them actually, but I said, "Your dog has just pooed in our garden. Can you pick it up, please?" And she was like, "Oh yeah, sorry, I just didn't notice." I was like, "You blooming well did." It really gets on my wick.
You did.
Chris doing his Amy impression, love it.
Yeah, I do agree with you. To be honest, Chris, the poo is a problem.
You are poo is a problem,
and that's why my parents never let me have a dog, because they were like, "Oh, we'll be the ones always picking up the poo."
Exactly.
And I was like, to be honest, you will.
And then if you've got a cat, it's even worse because the cat just poos everywhere. Okay, you don't know where your cat's pooed. You can't even bother. So it's not a problem.
You get a litter box.
It's not a problem for the cat owners. It's for all the other people, okay? The cats that live down our street, they don't poo in their own gardens because that would make their own gardens smell. They come to our garden, the pet-free garden, and that's where they choose to poo. So, okay, bye-bye pets. Next, allergies. 8% of UK adults, okay, are sensitised to dog allergens. I here have almost died because of being allergic to a dog, okay? Just a serious problem, okay? I was at a function. I was at the other end of this room. I didn't even know this dog had arrived. This dog came in, and next thing I know, I couldn't breathe. And Mum was really, really alarmed, and thankfully we had an inhaler in the car. She gave it to me, and then it turned out a dog had arrived. I'd not even seen the dog, and just because of its presence in this room, I'd had that reaction. So,
don't go near dogs then.
But that's the thing. But if people have dogs, it's then.
So do you want to abolish dogs?
Yeah.
Sorry, I can't see either here. You're arguing for dogs never existing, or you're arguing that it's your own problem.
So I'm saying, you've got a dog or a cat, and you invite someone over to your house. Well, that house is now no longer a hospitable place for certain of your friends to come to, because if Tom has invited someone's house that has a cat, he may not be able to go because of being allergic to said animal. So you're creating a world of exclusion where people can't feel safe in a space, and I just think that's not nice.
But I think that is like Tom says. Yeah, but like Tom says, that is your problem, Chris. I think if you're warned in advance, like, I have a pet, like.
And that's another thing.
Yeah, I have a pet. I can't really do anything about that.
Allergies are born out of lack of contact to those things. Like, if you remove those from society, then you end up creating a bigger problem because more people will become allergic because they're not used to having those allergens around them. Like, this is how things like hay fever develop, is that people aren't in close proximity to pollen, and so when they do become in close proximity to pollen, then they become allergic to it. Whereas if you are used to it, then it kind of it's like a little antidote sort of thing. So and it's the same with animal allergies. It's the same with nut allergies, and it's the same with hay fever. And so if your policy there is to make dogs less commonly around, then all you're going to do is increase the incidence of people that have dog allergies. So actually, your policy.
But that wouldn't matter because there just wouldn't be any dogs to cause the allergies anymore.
You want to kill all the dogs? What are you? Exterminate the dogs. This has turned horrible. I can't believe that you made this argument. You want to kill dogs?
Okay.
To be fair, we've got the neighbours across the road have got 2 dogs, and they bark really loudly and sometimes late at night. But my dad does say, like,
Brilliant.
They want shooting.
You've come. I've got a statistic. February 19, in a northern French village, it is now, you get a fine of £60 for prolonged or repeated barking, okay? Which I think is a brilliant idea. And just a fun little fact for you. I'd like you to guess how many decibels the loudest ever dog bark was.
I've got no idea because I don't know how loud a decibel is.
Oh, fair
Nor
enough.
do I, actually.
This is like 20. Is that big? Is that
60?
small?
Okay, well, it is 113.1 decibels.
Okay.
So I'm going to
Uh-huh.
give you that a comparison. That is the same as being 1 metre away from a chainsaw
Wow.
or a car
That is
horn.
loud.
That is quite loud. That is one epic bark. And so how noisy is that? Like your dad.
It's
Bang, bang. Gone. No more noise.
It is
What did you just stop trying to kill dogs?
It was Amy's dad's idea.
Sorry, what?
He just said. Amy just said that her dad... Go on, Amy, say it again.
Can I just put it out there that he doesn't actually mean it? Like, it's just a joke.
Oh, sorry, it's
He
on
wouldn't
tape now.
actually shoot a dog.
He'd shoot a dog because it's making too much noise. And so that's the thing. That dog, the noise it's creating is upsetting other people. That dog is not just your property. It becomes the property of the whole street because it's annoying everyone.
Train your dog better
But-
then. That goes back to my
Exactly,
whole
yeah.
argument of that pets aren't for everyone, and we're not arguing that everyone should have pets, but we're arguing that people that have a conducive environment in their home for pets should have pets because it makes their lives better.
And I think that is a massive benefit to having a pet, especially if you get a pet when you've got children, is that it teaches, if you are a responsible pet owner and you have children, it allows you an opportunity to teach your children that responsibility.
I mean, I'd say I'm a responsible person. I didn't need
This
to...
is true,
It's
but
not saying
dog.
that it's not a deterministic
So
thing,
that's
is
what I
it?
mean.
It's
So-
not like
so
you have to have
it-
a pet
yeah.
to make a responsible, but you can increase the likelihood that your child will turn out a responsible person and a loyal person if you
But
have
that's-
a dog.
But that's coming at the cost of £17,000. So for £17,000, you can insure a responsible child.
Yeah, but £17,000
But
sounds
it's
like
not
a
the
lot of
only
money when you
benefit.
say it like that. But over the course of 13 years, which is roughly how long a dog lives, that's not that. I mean, it's a lot of money.
It is a lot of
but
money.
it's definitely manageable,
And
and,
then-
people do it for a good reason.
Both cats and dogs, you've paid for them, you've invited them into your house, you feed them, and then you pick up their poo for them. You sleep with earplugs in because it makes so much noise, and then they go and ruin your house. They scratch the table. They get hair all over the furniture. Your furniture just smells of animal. Your house smells of animal. Everywhere you go, it smells of animal. And so your lovely house that you've already spent, hundreds of thousands of pounds on, is suddenly ruined by the animal you've paid to have in there. I mean, what could be worse?
But again, it's all about choice. Like I think some animals smell worse than others, and again, it comes back to how you take care of your animal. Because at the end of the day, dogs, if your dog stinks, you need to wash it.
Yeah, but
And the same
you can't be
goes for
washing it
cats.
for every half an hour.
No, but obviously you make that choice that your house is never going to smell like roses.
Yeah, so you've got to make that sacrifice.
Is that much of a sacrifice? Though?
Yeah.
I mean, especially when you're living in that house as well, you don't notice that smell. That's not a problem for you. And so, like when we had our dog, like it's only a smell for people that come in. If you don't like it, don't come. Like, if I'm honest, I'd much rather have a dog than a friend. So
Oh, that actually, I found out a really interesting statistic, and that is a survey. I can't remember where the survey was from. That's not very good of me, but anyway, a survey found that 12% of people love their pets more than their partner,
oh,
and I think that kind of speaks for itself, Chris.
I've got to say, Kaylin's got a dog, and I'd probably go out on a limb and say that she loves Maisie more than she does me. And that doesn't make me sad. That's fine. Maisie's brilliant.
Not bitter. Not bitter.
I suppose it sounds very nice because, I mean, animals can't really necessarily do as much for you, so it is very much sort of an unconditional love, which is quite nice, isn't it?
Yeah, definitely. So I think
Yeah.
to kind of sum up, I'm not going to say they all have their benefits because people should have pets, but I reckon that the takeaway here is that a house that can look after a pet properly and has a good environment for a pet should get a dog, right? Hear me out. If you can't commit to a dog, which is the ultimate
cat.
situation, get a cat. Or if you hate cats, or you can't even have the responsibility to have a cat, then don't get a pet. But dog is the pinnacle, then cat, then nothing.
What about goldfish?
Goldfish aren't really pets, are they?
Don't tell that to George, Paul, John, and Ringo. Loved those fish. When they died, I was going to get 2 more called Simon and Garfunkel, but it never happened.
God, that's so sad.
Dear.
Boom, boom, boom.
Thank you very much for listening.
And if you want to get in contact, you can find us on Facebook. We're Mind the Flat Podcast.
On Twitter, we're at mindtheflat_pod.
And Instagram at mindtheflat_podcast.
And if you want to respond to anything we've said in this episode or suggest a topic for another week, you can head to our Reddit. That's r/mindtheflat.
Or alternatively, you can drop us an email at mindtheflatpodcast@gmail.com.